Right, okie dokie. Let's tweet this out. I was going to add more hashtags to that, but that's fine. I'm not really too bothered about that at all. Cool. Just got a few on it. Right. And we're live. Right. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Right. Slowed game. I need to charge my controller today as well. So, jumping back in this today, we are pretty much carrying on where we left off last time, which was chapter 10. I think we done yesterday, or we hadn't done it. We were just handing it in. I think. Felt like we were done it. We haven't done it. We handed it in, but we had to go into the quarry to get the next king weapon, which we've got. Welcome in, Morph. Welcome in. It looks weird now. Oh yeah, I've made a bot. I've made a bot and I've called it Bot Hole Priest after the whole thing with Warhammer Chaos Bane. It just looks different when it hasn't got icons on it. It looks like just a random person. I don't know, I might change it back and just have it as me. Rather than having a different account for a bot. I don't know. We'll see. We're keeping it like that today. We'll see what happens. But yeah, how you doing, Morph? I think I literally left it off where I just got to jump into the main mission, right? I used to play fishing missions, which I ain't doing. So yeah, cool. Just jump on him.
For boarding? Yeah. Well, let's roll.
Yes.
Hop aboard. We'll be leaving shortly.
Cool.
We're here.
Rock and roll, baby.
Let us help you. And we're off.
Are we clear?
Crystal. Hey, watch your step.
You're not pushing onward?
Not at his expense.
Fair enough.
And there's the Lunar Killer, Mr. Arden, getting on the train himself. Actually, now that I think about it, that's actually low down to the point that you can't actually see the numbers, is it? No, I do. Should I do that there, or should I have it up there? I'll have it up there. Right, 30,000 XP. Skill level up. I think that was Gladio. By the looks of it. I actually quite like that picture. Save it. Glad the day is over. Well, you still got a few hours left, but the workday. Yeah. Alright, chapter 11, In the Dark. Igni's resolve forces a reconciliation between Noctis and Gladius and restores harmony to the group. With renewed vigor, the four friends reboard the train and head for Tanabrae, home of late Lady Lunafreya. Indeed. So yeah, I'm hoping we can... I say I'm hoping. I'm not trying to hurry up with this game, but I think we're going to be able to finish the main story by next week.
Sure does. Eager to drive once we're in Gralia.
I've then got the DLC. Now, I don't think the DLC is that long.
The regalia at all. We owe the first secretary our thanks. She'd get more thanks if she gave us a discount. Those transceivers are top notch.
I can't imagine them being very long. I remember the first one, Gladius's one, could be done in like 3 hours.
Remained behind. The Chancellor's. The last thing I remember seeing was his ship heading for the altar. I fell unconscious and was powerless to stop him. I'm just glad you're alive. Oh, is someone else there? Gladio. He just came back. Where did he go anyway? On a brief reconnaissance. Something caught my ear.
Hey, Captain. Mission complete.
Splendid. So what caught your ear? Rumors of longer nights.
They've been growing longer day by day.
There was talk of it back in Lucis, but recent days have shown an unseasonably sharp change.
I just want to make sure that I'm getting all that I've got all the royal arms as well. So I can't remember.
Be daylight.
Well, it's not out of the question. The Empire's already slain half of the Six. No wonder the whole world's in disarray.
I guess. And longer nights mean more demons.
Seen that with our own eyes.
I happened to overhear a fellow passenger discussing this very same phenomenon.
So he sent yours truly to seek him out.
Nice police work.
Well, don't want to keep him waiting.
No, we don't. Back in a moment. Sure.
Oh, that would be it. Okay. I just wanted to check because technically there's only one more listed after the katana that we got yesterday. And I was looking at it, I was like, that doesn't sound right because we should have got the trident before this. We haven't received the trident, but the trident is obtained on chapter 12, which we haven't done yet. So, alright.
Yeah.
We'll get it a little bit later. Just want to double check because I swear that I went and got all the optional ones.
Never seen anything like it. Doesn't make any sense. What's going on?
It's a real mystery. I'm not liking that snow cloud. Kind of gives me the chills.
Bloody Arden here.
How are you doing here?
What's going on?
I gotta admit, I do like Arden's outfit though.
Easy there, buddy. Oh, didn't see that coming. Shut up! Be careful there. Wait.
I'm gonna cut you up. Hold on, I'm pretty sure I remember it's a trap.
Show yourself. Knocked.
That son of
Come on, knocked. You're scaring me. Seriously, man. Cut it out.
God damn it, Arden, stop being nice.
Safe. You're
Stop being nice.
Quit.
We know you're an asshole. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There you go. No, you didn't, Crunk. Every now and then, we've had it in a few streams, my Elgato just randomly goes. And it reconnects.
How do you mean that knocked?
It just happened to do it during the cutscene.
What? Are you saying it's not?
Yes. What good would it do me to hurt you?
Who cares?
Knocked. Please, can't we talk for
But how you doing, Mr. Crunk? That's rude. It is, right? Bloody rude. Bloody rude. But yeah, how you doing, Mr. Crunk? Crunk it up. Sorry. Got a little bit of energy in me right now. I don't know if it's just because I had dinner. But I didn't yesterday when I had pasta, so... Could be anything. Could be anything. Okay, I guess. Sick is oh shit, you're sick? What happened? Did you catch something from the outside?
Where's Arden?
And I say the outside because I think the outside is still the enemy.
This weird stuff
I
happened.
caught a cold.
I bet he's behind.
You call that outside?
Gladio went up to inspect the engine room. I say the two of us go check out the rear.
Nah.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a bad one. I hope it's just something that like blows through pretty quick. Check out the status of the rear cars.
Did they?
Yeah, outside's bad. I mean, outside is pretty. pretty. But, ugh. Ugh. Boy, does it have its downsides.
To us. So much for a safe ride. More of them might be on board. Let's check the rear.
We need to get the train moving.
Banana, banana.
Come up with something.
I hope so.
Nah, I feel really weak. Like, I tried yoga, I couldn't even plank. Oh, planks are horrible. If there's one thing you know about me, is I'm not great at exercising. I don't like it.
Well then. For them.
Which I chose to typically blow up the train, take them out before they get too close. Okay. Oh, can I just warp strike them to death? Yeah.
It's us against an army.
What are the odds we'll win?
Maybe I've over-leveled now. You breezing through?
There's just too many of them.
Oh. The fun never ends.
I don't know. I mean, I am having like an easy time with them, but they're nothing special anyway. They're just troopers.
He's back on his feet.
I mean, we are like what, level 91, and these are level 32. It happens, but I'd rather be over leveled than under. So it also means now I could just proper focus on the story.
He's ready for round 2.
Plus, it means if I warp strike him and I kill him in one hit, I get myself a slice of AP. And I like AP. I tried a rebalance mod for Final Fantasy VIII and I died to bloody Ifrit. I mean, what? Did I die to Ifrit?
Let's get this show on the road already.
I don't think I did. I remember Final Fantasy IX, I killed the princess because I didn't realise that attacking the top of the monster that she was held in wasn't breaking her free, but instead killing her. That was the thing. I think there's a clip of that as well. Fun times. Fun times. Yeah, if it's like right at the beginning, right? Imperial Attack has begun to fire on the train. Point warp to the tank and destroy it before it shoots. If the train takes damage, the game is over. Yeah, it can be the first encounter if you're lucky. I remember going to the console at the beginning, and it gives you that green thing. It begins with a Q. I can't remember the name of it, or I could never pronounce it, so I called it Green Ting. And you could get Shiver. I think it was Shiver as well. Well, I called her Shiv-Her, so that was the thing. I nicknamed all of the summons in 8. Yeah, Shiver and the bird thing straight off. Yeah, that's it. I think it's like Quetzal or something like that. But yeah, I just called it Green Ting, so I couldn't pronounce the name of it. Uh-oh.
She's gonna blow. That one's next.
Ah. Oh no, it's Arden!
Oh, oh.
How long were you in the dark?
So this is the scene in the game where you lose Prompto for a while. Prompto is no more for a little bit. Which is where his DLC takes place. Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, that one. I couldn't pronounce that name. No hope in hell was I ever going to pronounce that name. Chapter 12. See, that chapter was really short. Arden uses a stitch in time to switch appearances with Prompto and tricks Noctis into hurting his closest friend. Nevertheless, the king pushes onward, accepting the consequences and never looking back. So, yesterday, Barefoot gifted 2 subs, which was absolutely lovely of her and not needed. I think the Streamlabs counter that I've got up doesn't count multiple gift subs as more than one for some reason. So I just have to remember and then update it, because I've had to do it today. I think there's like a counter I can set on the Streamlabs chatbot that's different, but it's not got like an end goal sort of thing like this does.
What's wrong?
So I'm not quite sure what to... I think I just have to wiggle it around.
I pushed him. I mean, Arden made me. I don't know where he is, but we can't leave him.
Stay calm, Noct. I'm as concerned for Prompto as you are, but stopping the train would endanger everyone on board. We'd be sitting ducks for the demons.
What do we do?
Sitting ducks for the demons.
Passengers off at Tenebrae. We'll be arriving shortly.
What about Prompto?
Given the Chancellor's involvement, it's probable he's no longer where we left him. In any case, he may try to contact us. Let us wait and hope for now. Can you make your way here? Gladio's with me.
Are the 2 of you okay at least?
Yes.
Okay, on my way. Huh? I'll be there as soon as I take care of these stowaways.
Make your way toward the front car. It's the demons! Oh, Something over here. Alright, I am going along the top. I just want to make sure I wasn't trying to play. Isn't there a Squaresoft sale seen not long ago? Yes. Yeah, there was. You might have just missed it. Your next bet is going to be trying to think what sales come up, and if there's one before Christmas.
Can't take much more of this.
I'm not too sure. I think there's definitely one before Christmas, but you're right. It always does happen. Either that. Wanted to get Horizon Zero Dawn, but when it went on sale, I was broke. Wait, you know it's free now, right? Unless you've already got it. I don't have a PlayStation. Oh. Oh, okay, I get it. You wanted it on PC. Gotcha. Alright, never mind. Yeah, I was going to say it's free on PlayStation now. need to get in on that PS5 version. I don't know. Here's the thing. I do love my PlayStation 5. There's not really that much out on it still yet. Not that it's worth buying a PlayStation for. All the games vary differently. Oh, this is what it meant about me getting the trident at the end of this chapter. No turning back. Don't PS5, I've got 380. Yeah, see, there you go. I don't blame people. If people don't want a PS5, it makes complete sense. You gotta admit, with the amount of times that they've been saying you're not gonna get something on a PC that's on Sony, and then it does. The green bean.
More to it than
it's like, yeah, you might you might as well.
Come with me.
Hey Rubes, how you doing? Yeah, I don't like my bot. I like the name, but I don't like the fact it doesn't have any icons next to it. It feels like just a random person shouting everyone out.
Oh, just a flesh wound.
So to go for a new PC over PS5. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Afraid not.
Wow.
You know what? I was going to say, Mr. Crunk, and you're free to talk about it in the Discord. If you really enjoy yoga... Oh, wait a minute. It's just done the thing again. Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, that's what it's missing. It's missing a mod thing. That's what it's missing. It's missing the mod thing. I wondered when I was looking at it what it's missing. Alright, wait a minute. I'm going to have to add another screen, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to add another Elgato capture. Alright, give me a minute. Video capture. It might get loud all of a sudden. I apologise. There we go. Okay. What were you doing, Powder? I just need to quickly amend some stuff. I need to... Moderation. Is it on moderation? No, it's not. Oh, yeah, no. Wait. Where's roles? Ah, here it is. Here it is. Right, there you go. I've made it a mod, so it at least has the thing now and it doesn't look like a stranger. What I was going to say was, before the game interrupted me rudely out of nowhere, was you said that you like doing yoga, Mr. Crunk. Rubes is an avid yoga person. So, if you ever wanted to talk about yoga, Rubes is a good one to chat to. And hey, Broken Tip, how you doing? How you doing today? Welcome in. But yeah, Rubes is always doing some sort of exercise. She absolutely ruined her butt holders the other day. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, butt holders is what Rubes called them. See, here's the thing. Rubes likes to rename things, especially if she forgets what they're called. So yeah, she called them butt holders. Pro game, that is. Pro game move. Did I read this book? No, I don't think I did. I do have the ring. Hey, Aranea, how you doing? Hello, lovely. Doing good. Not a millionaire from Dogecoin, and my NFT didn't sell, so I'm at work today. Don't you just hate when you when you, like, something doesn't pan out or you don't win the lottery, then you've got to go to work, you're like, ugh, if only my luck was different, I wouldn't have had to go to work. All the time. Happens all the blood damn time. I'm intrigued. I'm a little quirky. Yeah, Rubes is quirky. We love it. It's great.
So,
It's what makes Rubes part of Rubes.
Demons, pawns of the Imperial Army.
the army that you fight for.
Fought.
So, no, right?
for.
Exactly.
My men and I are in the search and rescue business now.
If I won the lottery the other day, could have quit work. Could have just been streaming all day,
You may
every day.
Part of the relief effort. We have a favor to ask.
Ask away.
In light of what you've told us, we can't allow the other passengers to continue on.
Sure, leave him to me. But who's gonna drive the train?
Now that you mention it, yeah. You know anyone?
I do. In fact, I know two.
You guys can keep talking. This weapon's up there. Is this going to turn into a shop? Someone has been annoyed. I don't think so. I don't think I have. I don't recall I've done anything. I don't know any yoga names. I just know I've been. Oh, Rubes. What was the ones that I used to say? I'm exactly the same. I don't know any yoga poses. So whenever Rubes used to go do them, I just used to name weird things.
Your new
Prickly.
experience.
Was Prickly Bush one?
No need to worry. They can take a licking.
Only if we have to. What's all this about?
Driving a train to.
I don't know how that would be a yoga pose, but Prickly Bush was one. Yeah.
You have me ask.
You got us there.
Trying to think what else I said.
Really appreciate you going out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sweat.
When in doubt, just describe what it looks like. Go through your phone. There's two. I don't know if they'll still be up. Oh no, they'll be on YouTube. But it was near Scary Trail.
Happy to help. Can't see the climate will be as cooperative.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Scary Train was a thing.
Especially the gorge.
The place is free.
See, these are prone moments for quotes and that as well. But it never happened because I don't think people knew that they could quote.
Before we ship out. By the way, I bumped into a woman from the manor. Used to serve House Flore. Must have gone off looking for you. Said she had something important to discuss.
With me? Guess I ought to find her then.
Cool. Taylor Password.
Got your
You guys know Tap Out?
Yeah. The only way we could help the people was by leaving the army. Lady
No.
had it with them, as it were.
Lady A.
Is it something?
Aranea, the common.
For some reason, all I can thinking of is, you know, when you tap out when you're fighting with someone.
The crystal's just sitting there. No one in the army signed up for this.
What about the
Then I can start giving out Deep Brown Soldiers. Deep Brown Soldiers, Bum Cake. That was another one.
Closed doors or lying dead.
People that weren't here for these are gonna like think, what? What the hell? There's like meaning behind these. These are all like.
Give us a holler when you're ready to shove off. Shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, shut me, okay. Oh, you just sell these stuff. I've got these. That means this bloke must be a weapon shop over here. Has to be. There you go. Why is there no new weapons? Tap out is a 90-day exercise program based on martial art. It's brutal. See, the fact that groups could do Krav Maga scares the hell out of me a little bit, because I know Krav Maga can be used like it's like a really good martial arts to be taught to kill people. I think Krav Maga is the one anyway, if I'm thinking of it right. I just imagine Rubes kicking ass in an alley. Great. It is. Yeah, I thought it was. So you know not to mess with Rubes. She'll Krav Maga your ass. Just like exercises for 40 minutes. If no one's interested, I'll try Google Drive. I'll try out. I mean, I've already told you how I feel about exercise, Mr. Crunk. Rubes knows how I feel about exercise.
Yeah. Have we...
But if you want, you can feel free to play it in the Discord, yeah.
Stars, just look at what a fine young man you've grown into. I am Maria, a retainer in service to House Fleuret. I doubt you'll remember me after these long years.
I can't say I do.
Totally remember you, love.
Don't worry.
How could we forget Maria, the key character in Final Fantasy 15, right here? Right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Lady Lunafreya risked everything to spirit the ring of the Lucii away from the Citadel. Did she deliver it to you?
Yeah.
Stars above! My fears have been assuaged. Lord Ravis, too, will be overjoyed to hear this news.
Ravis too.
But he's been fighting us.
I beg of you. Please.
I think this is after she got stabbed.
Noctis. On my behalf. Already. My flesh has begun to fail me.
She's very quiet. She is.
No, I cannot accept it.
I think it's because she's dying.
By your hand. It must be done. To deliver the ring and inspire the king is your calling.
Unless this isn't before she died. Or just before she died, I mean.
I lack the strength to go on.
Anyone know how to share a Google Drive? You should just be able to copy a link.
Find it, Lunafreya.
Or share it.
Have the
That's what I mean.
Go to Noctis.
It might have to be specifically the folder that it's all in.
The truth of your heart.
Where is this? She sounds quiet as if she's just the one that got stabbed. Like, I don't know. I thought it was just after she got stabbed.
And you will go hence to the Imperial capital.
It would explain why she was so quiet.
Lord Ravis has King Regis's glaive in his safekeeping.
This
And
good.
it is his wish to return it.
Is it one of the new ones, Rubes?
Though I imagine.
Alright, put it around there. Let's hope it's not my naughty folder. Well, let's hope not. Otherwise, we might have some questions and possibly some weird little judging.
Sure it shall be so.
I'm joking. I wouldn't judge anyone. Oh, okay, yeah, so whenever someone will have to request access to it, and then, yeah, you go in from there. Is that it, really?
About the crystal. Remember how I said it was locked away?
I imagine it's a folder with a tiny butt.
They really didn't allow anyone near the thing. The Emperor himself never got close to it. The lab rats had a theory that the crystal posed some kind of threat to the demons. The way they see it? That's the reason the Chancellor had the Emperor go after it in the first place. Dunno, but that theory holds water in my book.
Right. That'd be cool, though. I mean, you can, like, on Windows, you can change folders to have specific icons. Just saying. Just saying. I used to do it for all of my anime. because people used to make like custom window folder icons for specific anime, and I used to have like a whole folder of all of them and change the icons so that I could see like the picture rather than just a stupid yellow folder.
Prince Noctis!
Yeah?
Prince Noctis, were you excited to marry Lady Lunafreya? Because she was really excited to marry you. She looked so happy the day her dress arrived.
Oh, thanks for rubbing it in.
Prince Noctis,
This little girl coming up out of nowhere and being like, yo, do you remember your dead wife?
At first, the father had mourned the fate of his chosen son. Yet in Tenebrae, the two found solace. It was not the Oracle who assuaged their fears, but the girl.
There you go, Rubes.
She holds
All changed. All changed for you.
I have little to offer a king, other than the voice afforded the Oracle. Nevertheless... And... I'm afraid you might find this foolish.
It is a pretty dress.
To be together with Noctis again.
And points poor. Worth it.
For a short while.
To be fair, you've been around a lot recently, Rubes. You might rack them up pretty quickly again. It could happen.
I do not seek to guide him. Merely to stand beside him.
But yeah, Rubes, you said you were eating a biscuit. Is it one of the new ones?
Lady Lunafreya worried she was burdening you with the wedding. That's not true, is it?
No, not at all.
Almond biscotti. Ooh. I don't know which one that was. Basically, Rubes got this random care package today, full of biscuits and other vegan treats.
How in the world could something like this happen? Perhaps I listened to Lady Lunafreya's address on the radio. To think she gave that speech in the very place she was supposed to be wed. I can only imagine how she must have felt.
See, I need to flow with the girl. Don't know who sent them. So here's the thing, right? And I want to go back to what I was talking about in the last, in 2 chapters ago in Altizia. They're focusing on Lady Lunafreya now, but they've had this whole scene 2 chapters ago where they're trying to be sentimental with her dying, and it feels pointless because you don't know the character, and then it throws it all to you now when it doesn't matter. It feels very off for the story. I don't understand how they done it or why they done it like that. I don't know if it's just because they wanted to obviously do it where they had the whole separated bits between.
Shall we shove off then? Climb aboard.
Oh, how you feel about that upcoming 5 hours ago? You mean 16? I'm interested. I'm interested. It's another. I think it's going to be another hack and slash type one, so I'm definitely down for it.
Watch yourselves in the capital.
We will. Thanks, RNA.
Yeah, it's the one made by the dude who made 14. Yeah. I'm quite excited to see what they're going to do for it.
It's snowing.
I hope the combat isn't totally like this one. I think it is more. I think that's the path that they're doing now with Final Fantasy. Because when they showed the like the bits of gameplay within that, you could see completely how it was how it was like flowing and moving like this. There's no way that that would be turn-based. Or I guess it would be more like 7, right? Because 7 was the updated version of this. And 7 worked really well. Oh, very fun. Oh, yeah. I imagine that they're going to use the real-time like mechanics from 7 Remake. Because 7 Remake was really good. It was definitely an upgrade compared to this. So I am excited to see what they're going to do. Apparently,
What's after the gorge I'm working?
There's a rumor that they're going to be announcing some stuff at E3. So, we might get some more Final Fantasy 16 news.
Once we get through,
We might even get a Final Fantasy 7 remake. No idea when E3 is. It's normally June or July.
it's depressing when it's always dark out.
Still dark. Seems there's scarcely anything left of day. It's all gone wrong.
It's about getting offensive. I'm a massive nerd. I mean, like, I just remember them occasionally. Like, they don't really stick around in my head or anything. We're still in chapter 12, right? I can't save. Yeah, we're still in chapter 12. June 12th to 15th, yeah. There you go. So yeah, we'll see a bunch of new news and stuff like that over the days. I'm like, it was actually easier to keep up with it last year because of the fact that I was working from home. So I could keep a tab open for anything new that was being announced. I think Xbox and Sony have pulled out of it again. Let's just rest. Yes, I don't care about exploring a drink. Just let me get on with the game. Don't know about Xbox. I'm not too sure then. I know that there's been some news that Returnal is going to be 60 FPS at 4K on the PlayStation 5. I'm not going to get Returnal, but there's that news if anyone didn't know about it before.
I wonder what it could be this time. Yeah.
What's wrong?
What about Returnal? It's getting a 60 FPS at 4K. Apparently that was news. It got tweeted out earlier today or last night, one of the two. I'm not quite sure why it was big news. I would have thought that would be a standard. But yeah.
It's freezing.
Are we getting shiver now?
Moving to stay warm.
The Glacian did this. I think I can see her.
It's a shame. She's lying dead. Damn, it's cold. Let's clean up out of
I can't remember it being in this. Yeah, I emailed the Square Enix website a bit earlier because of the fact that I haven't heard anything about my Nier collector's edition. I mean, it could be the case that it's dispatched tomorrow and it still comes Friday, but a one-day delivery time for something like that, I don't see that happening. If it comes like later than it should do, then I'm not too bothered. I'm not playing it straight away. But I just want to know that it's actually coming. They're quick enough to tell me that they took the money out. So I get panicky about that shit, so I'd rather not. Is Libra Element 1 or 2? 1, okay.
Just the thing.
There you go. Sorted. But yeah, like Morph said, there are still like some big turn-based games coming out and stuff like that. Like the new Trials, Tales game. I imagine that's going to be turn-based. They normally are.
Something's not right. Come on,
There in a sec. Right.
No way. You! Hold it! That son of a bitch.
Yeah, but Divinity doesn't have a new game out.
The hell?
Didn't Lord of the Rings have a turn-based game? There is a Lord of the Rings turn-based game on PlayStation 2. It's called Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. I never completed it. I have the ISO for it though to emulate it.
Stop, damn it! Where is he? Where's Prompto?
Oh, there you are. I'm worried about your friends. They've fallen and they can't get up. Why not lend them a hand?
This is Lord of the Rings. We actually we streamed. Was it this year? I streamed Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers and Return of the King video games on PlayStation 2. I used to love playing them back in the day. And I wanted some short games, so I played them. So no, like Two Towers. Such fun games to play. Yes, so good. Damn right. Lord of the Rings never fails. Never fails. There was a Lord of the Rings, the Aragorn's Quest on Wii, and something else, and it was like a top-down game. That didn't do so well. Imagine Lord of the Rings. I was saying this when we were playing it. I want an up-to-date Lord of the Rings. Which will get a remake as well. I only heard that's a rumor though. Oh, hello. Yo, Shiva looking good. Shiva looking good. I saw that Tales of the Past.
The Six have safeguarded this star since time immemorial.
Hey, Battle for Middle-earth for RTS games. I haven't. Mr. Gore has though. He played it quite recently. But I'd also be down if Knights of the Old Republic gets a remake, because then I could actually stream it. I couldn't get the old Kingdom Knights of the Old Republic to work on stream. It just kept crashing. And it's Barefoot! Hey Barefoot! I see old people's club is back together. Nah, Kiki's not here. How you doing, Barefoot? How was the stuff that you needed to get done? I didn't fall asleep today after work. Would you believe it? Look at Shiva. Hot. Hot. She could touch me with those cold hands. Shiver. This airbag, sheesh. She is a god, Rubes. They have to put her power in somewhere, right? There's a lot of power in airbags. Ask about the hopes for the future.
In the days that follow the war, while the Six are
Wait, that's Shiva? Yeah.
The pyre burner is sought by a man who draws him away from the light. His peril is sensed by the Frostbearer. She rushes to
Well. Don't put power in boobs, otherwise it'd be a goddess. You are boobs. Oh! Capture card, please! All the time! Wait a minute.
Elders of the Chosen. Deliver this world from darkness and grant my love release.
I promise I will.
The Oracle is no longer of this world, but her thoughts remain, and they must
It's
be
gonna be
known.
very loud and I apologize. Where is Elgato for? There it is. There you go. Oh, shit. Ask about Luna's thoughts. Oh, shit! Oh, fucking hell. Wait a minute. There you go.
When the boy begins his existence on this star, the girl is met by the High Messenger.
Somebody needs a new capture card. It's not even... I don't even know where it is. I don't think it's the capture card.
Reaffirms that promise. The High Messenger is moved by the girl.
Because some days it doesn't do it.
Her heart warmed by the girl's benevolence. Her faith in man.
But I use a Elgato HD 60. Oh, 60S. Yeah. I can't use S+.
Never be king.
It's just the awful game, not the card. No, because it does it for every game. Rube can attest to this, because when we play games together, it happens as well.
That may be.
You know what's really hard playing a game like Dark Souls mid-boss fight? Your capture card goes off and you can't see or hear anything. And Rube's is left alone to shoot things, and you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing! But Rubes holds her own. Rubes carries me in Remnant, by the way. She's so good at that game.
His voice once more. If we could laugh together as we did as children.
She is screaming that. She does scream bye Dan a lot.
If we could.
It was so funny, not last week, but the week before when we were playing it. This boss with the like two massive wasps on a bridge. Me and Rubes didn't realise that you could fall off the bridge. After that, we fell off that bridge quite a few times.
Yet others need not hide their grief.
Super impressed.
So different from them.
No.
Everyone's so awesome game. We've been having a lot of fun with it.
Wants exactly what they do.
I think it was then that you also realised that you hadn't upgraded your armour at all, wasn't it?
To be.
The lady's thoughts have been heard. The love she bears the king shall never fade.
Yeah.
And in time, her feelings.
Boss is a pain. We managed to do it though pretty easily.
And if the
Surprised the prequel got so little attention. I didn't even know it got a prequel, so you're definitely right there.
they are heard, the god's favor and the lady's love shall be with him evermore. Thus it is promised between the oracle and her familiar.
Sweet Madonna. Well, wouldn't you believe it, Barefoot? I've got it right here.
I am deserving of your kindness.
That one's for you. That's my hardcore character on that boss. No. Yes, give it to her. Give her the banana. Hello, Elliot. How you doing?
The promise is fulfilled
Can we just address
with him.
the elephant in the room? That is Shiva's like cod piece, not even covering the whole of her.
O King of Kings, restore the light unto this world.
Kronos Before the Ashes is pretty cool. Yeah, I've seen it now because you mentioned it before.
Farewell, dear Noctis.
But yeah, how you doing, Elliot? How you doing? Right, so there's the King's royal arm that we didn't have, which was used with the Leviathan. So the only one left is our dad's sword, which is later.
Now, I'll never have the chance. I'm so sorry.
Okay, thanks, you're good. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. To answer your question, because I saw it pop up on my phone, but I was already live, so I couldn't message you. That pack does contain Detective Pikachu boosters. Like, 2 of them, I think. It's not many, just 2. You get like two of those and then a standard booster. But I saw it pop up on Amazon, I thought, yeah, go on then. Go on then.
I won't let you down. I know you won't.
I got to go be a dog and talk to the beardy. That's alright, Rubes. Have you told him that you got another snack box? Am I in trouble, or should I keep an eye out? Not yet. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you let him know. I'll hide. Right, let's have a look. Noctis, weapons. Yeah, see? Trent of the Oracle. So we've only got 1 Royal Arm left to get. Then we're good.
What are you looking at? Wake up.
That's what he's trying to find out. So that's adorable. How can they be bad for you? They're vegan. They've got to be good for you, surely. That's how it works. Trust me, I know things. But yeah, take care, Rubes. I'll message you after stream.
Let's go.
When you do that, it looks like you're all taking flight away. It's like, I must fly. Let's just reboard the train and depart. I'm already on the train.
I feel I've earned the right to call you Noct.
No.
For a moment,
Bad Arden.
Chill wind. Such is the might of the gods. But then I remembered I'm immortal. Such is my blessing and curse. Your attack hurt me, nevertheless.
Arden can call me however he wants.
And after all the memories we...
I mean, he's got good fashion taste. I like his outfit.
If you remember him, truly a blast from the past. Nay. You mustn't take what's not yours.
Where is he?
He... The little gunman's a short shot away.
Where?
Where else but Gralia, the seat of the Empire? I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you. And you might even find your crystal.
So, I said that I think I should be able to wrap this main story of this up by next week.
You could certainly use it.
I'm forgetting how short these chapters are. We might be able to do this on... We might be able to finish the main story on Friday.
I wouldn't want to keep you from your friend.
So I think we just finish in chapter 12. There's only 15 chapters, and it's either at the chapter 13 or 14 that there's a time jump. But welcome back, Mr. Kronk. Welcome back. You haven't missed too much. We've got Shiver's Blessing. We've got the 12th Royal Arm. Try to think if there's anything else. That's about it. That's about it. Chapter 13, Redemption. Having stolen Noctis' country, crystal, and cherished companions, Arden awaits impeccably at the Hello. At the Gralia. Nice. Christ.
We should be drawing close to
I need to get a new ID card this Friday. I'm so lazy. Would you, like...
I can't imagine what it'll be.
So, what would you use an ID card for?
Don't remind me.
I'm curious.
Once we arrive, we'll make for the keep. The keep?
Is it like what you use for like a driving license, or...?
With Prompto and the crystal inside it.
What goes in must come out. So, are we buying the story that the crystal can purge demons?
The proof is in the purging, but it does stand to reason. We've observed that as the nights have grown longer, the demon hordes have grown stronger. If they are in fact averse to the crystal's light, it could save not only Lucis, but the world.
No, we need to own one. Everyone who is at least 16 old has to provide an ID key with a personal number. Okay. So basically for everything that proves age.
My guess, something to sidetrack.
I feel like that would be a good thing to have here. We have... It's not similar. We have something... Wait, don't you have ID cards in the UK? No. I mean, we have what's considered national ID, national insurance numbers, but that's a number that doesn't say your name on the card. It doesn't have a picture or your information. If we need to do proof of like person, we'll do a driving license or a passport. But here in the UK, if you don't have a driving license, before you can get a driving license, you need a provisional license. So I have a provisional because I know that I'm not going to get. I know that I'm not going to learn to drive, so I use that to get through. So ID cards I use passport as an ID. So ID cards are for EU and passport is for every other country. And visas get, for example, you need a passport. Yeah, so ideally you need a passport or a driving license for a lot of IDing things. But yeah, we don't have like an ID card specifically that covers. That's for everything. We just have. We don't. That's it.
On my way. Locked. The freight car. Keep moving.
Oh, we sometimes use birth certificates.
Strap in. Yeah. Gun it.
Why did you one Polish send this passport? I need a passport at some point. I do want to go abroad, and I've never had a passport because I've never gone abroad. So, yeah.
Put the pedal to the metal.
That's the idea.
Don't crash.
Thanks for the tip. Where are we now? Inside a tunnel. On the train tracks.
Don't slow down, or they'll catch us up.
Hang on.
I like the idea of having an ID card, though. I feel like that would be beneficial and work out really well.
One clean hit, and it's over.
It'll take a bit more than that to stop His Majesty's trusty steed.
Dodging one thing to run into another.
The Regalia can take the punishment. Just focus on your driving.
You can do it, girl. You can get through this.
Whoops. I think is the question. I can't flip the car. I just have to wait for the time to go down. Reason happy you can't travel to the US without an ID card, at least from Germany. Okay, okay. I wish I had a card size passport. I got the book. Oh yeah, we got the books for them. Make sure everything is expired. I'll have to look. I'm looking forward to move to the UK. No idea how to go about that now. I'm sure that there's a way. It's probably going to be a bit tricky. But I'm sure there's a way that you can do it. What part are you looking to move to?
Threat upgraded. Activating level 4 security measures. Sealing all gates.
Yeah. Looking to move over to Scotland. I more or less have an apartment over there already if I want it. Oh, okay, fair enough. Europeans can easily move around. They should move to Europe. Yeah, but you got to remember, you're saying Europeans can easily move about, but technically we're not Europeans anymore. So I don't know how easy it would be. It's weird because when this whole thing started happening, people are like, "Oh, we're going to move to Spain." I was like, "All right, all right then." Excellent 20. Oh, there you go. Then you still got some time. Obviously, though, that depends what you're looking at now, and if you've got enough time to be able to, you know, do it before then.
Dodging one thing to run into another.
The Regalia can take the punishment. Just focus on your driving.
You can do it, girl. You can get through this.
It's closing. Floor it.
Come on, old girl.
Oh, my car. I'm trying to see what with over there. Yeah, that's the other issue is work. Getting a solid place.
That's all she's got.
It'll do.
The poor car. She got us so far. Let's get rich sandwich cakes to the Brits. I'm gonna tell you now, it would be different. I've never heard of a sandwich cake until you mentioned it earlier. Your friend is spotted dick sponge cake to advertise it.
Thanks for everything.
I don't know how well like spotted dick is over here, you know?
Empty-handed.
And with no assurances, the crystal can beat back the demon hordes.
Guess we'll find out the hard way. No turning back now, right? This thing could come down at any time.
Let's be quick. Come on, this way.
My sister moved to London for a while. It's not just sponge cake. No, Mr. Crunk put some pictures in Munchins earlier of it. People you follow, Noctis.
Look at you, all by your lonesome.
Trying to place a high. Don't I have weapons? What the fuck is going on? Gear is locked. Really?
You are one sick son of a bitch.
Alright then. Alright then.
Leave me alone.
But yeah, sponge cake is definitely not what Mr. Crunk is calling a sandwich cake. These are two different things. But yeah, I've never heard of a sandwich cake before. That is not a thing here. I can tell you that now. At least I don't think it is. I've never heard anyone in the UK mention a sandwich cake. Oh, right, this is where I start learning how to use the ring. Okay. That's why my gear is locked. The one ring to rule them all. It's so good. It looks strange. But not like strange as in horrible, just like it's completely different to what I've ever heard of, so yeah, it's different. Yes, I do birthday pies. That's how business cards. I am me. Harbored within the Ring of Lucy, Arcana encompasses 3 powerful spells. The first of these is Death, which drains a foe's life force to restore your own. There you go. Yeah, so I think I learned how to use the ring while I'm here.
Looks like it's connected below. Might be my ticket to the top.
It doesn't hurt me though. Okay. I don't really eat cakes. Fair enough. 5 switches to power doors and others. Okay. So are you saying, Bertha, if I made a cake, you wouldn't eat it? Is that what you're saying?
Now go.
Did you get behind that? I would eat it because you. Oh, look at that! So lovely.
Supposed to do?
There's me thinking you're going to say no. I was like, yes, whole cake. I've got to find out how to get behind there. See, here's the thing as well, and like I've talked about this before. I like making stuff like cakes, cooking food, like dinners and stuff. And like most of the time, I don't do it because I'm hungry or I want to eat it. I just like making food. It's fun.
Nice.
Most of the baked goods that I make, I don't even eat. I make it for other people to eat. I just like creating new things. I haven't done it in a little while though. I do need to make more stuff. I brought some bread tins. I was going to make my own loaf of breads. Alright, that's turned that on, right? Okay. So can we see? See? Did you think about it anymore, Broken Tip? You said that you were looking to possibly move to the EU, right? I remember you saying that before. Have you like thought about that anymore? About what you maybe want to do? Yeah. Ooh. I mean, if you're willing to tell, I'm all ears. I'm interested on listening. Where is that?
That's the way to the elevator taken care of?
Who doesn't eat cake? People that are allergic. People that are allergic. Spell of Arcana Holy counters with last sacred. Okay. Think Spain is for the foreigner. Okay. You know, do you know that Spain is a massive, and I don't say this in an attempt to scare you, but just so you know, it is a massive tourist place, right? Literally, if you ask a Brit where they're going on summer holidays, it's Spain. It seems to be the only place British people love to go is Spain. Every year, they always go to Spain. Where am I going? Oh! Yeah, I found it. The old method, same as Swedes, same here, and everyone hates Germany, so I live in peace. I mean, you know what, just because I'm going to go to Germany. I'm going to go to Germany and annoy barefoot. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I want for a holiday.
Should be safe to rest here.
Change route. Oh no, I'm not going to change route. Perhaps will be my runner up. Okay. Yeah, plenty of UK people too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying obviously other people don't go to other places. All I mean is, like generally, UK people and Brits, they just really love going to Spain as a holiday trip. It's hot, it has beaches. That's all a Brit wants because we get cold, crappy weather. Well, as long as things not shut down completely, I imagine it'd probably be for exactly the same for a little bit. I don't know how it's gonna work. Frinton on Sea had proper beaches, very nice. What's Frinton on Sea? I've never heard of that before. Walk around it during the sun, we'd often hear more English people on the streets than Dutch. You know what was when I went to London a couple of years ago for a trip? It was my first time going to London properly and staying there. So many American people. First time that I properly got to hear an American accent up close as well. I sort of made the best/worst decision when I went, because we stayed at a hotel that was right next to London Eye, which, for one, is a good spot because it's right near the main train station, or one of the main train stations in London, and subway stations, so you've got easy access all around. It's got the London Eye right next to it, but then you've got to remember, it's got the London Eye right next to it, so during the day, it's a massive tourist trap, so getting around... massive nightmare. I wanted a slush puppy from the slush puppy stand the day that we got there. Couldn't. It was too busy. They didn't even have it open the next 2 days.
Where'd everybody go?
Lost out my chance on a slush puppy. Never forget. Always hold a grudge. What is this one? I'm trying to remember how you do this. There you go. That'll do it. Here you Mostly have Asians. Okay.
This whole city gives me the chills.
But yeah, most of the time a British person will mainly just want to go somewhere where it's warm, it has a lovely beach. That's all, really.
Friends, if you can't help yourself.
Gotta hurry and find them, wherever they are.
Wait, why are we hiding? It's the coast by Ipswich or Colchester for house. Oh, okay. I don't think I've been to Ipswich or Colchester.
Can't you simply taste the air of foreboding?
I think I have. No, I don't think I have. Here they come for the war mongers. Makes sense. Makes sense. And the chocolate. You see them come out of the shops carrying bags of stuff with it. Rogue Axeman patrol the set route. Oh.
These don't look like typical MTs.
Must be tiring having to run all the time.
I mean, I'm pretty much just gonna... I'm not gonna be doing any hiding. We're like at a high level. I've got a good weapon. So I'm probably just gonna fight everything that I come across. I'm thinking that you must have, like, different... We talked about this before, Moth, the fact that I don't like dark chocolate, and Belgian chocolate tends to be quite a lot of dark chocolate, but you obviously mentioned about the percentage. I swear all of the ones that we have here are high percentages.
Different about them. Something off.
Either that or I just really can't deal with dark chocolate. It's one of the two.
There's some streaker running around here.
I couldn't tell you what percentage they are here, but every single one is just really bad. There are plenty of milk chocolates as well. It's still the most common. Okay. I'll be alright then. I'll be alright. You know what? I wasn't a fan of those Gullivan truffles that I had. Wasn't a fan.
Coming along swimmingly, isn't it?
I like the hazelnut praline ones though. They were lovely. I was saying this in a Nest stream as well, but I'm gonna have to try a peanut butter and jam sandwich at some point because it's talked about so much, and I've never had it. I always don't like the idea about mixing peanut butter and jam. Don't know why.
Can't afford to get spun around.
Prompto! So bad, but you can't rely on it fully. Yeah. Either the percentages here are just always high, or I'm just not. I just can't deal with dark chocolate, which I'm fine with. There is other chocolates for me to eat. But yeah, it's just always too bitter for me. That's why I like it in baked goods, because I can bake it and the bitterness goes away. Like, if I bake brownies, I always do dark chocolate. I never had PBJ, I was raised on... I want to say it's not really a thing here. I would say, like, the only time that I've ever heard of PB&J sandwiches is from, like, American films. I wouldn't say it's a thing that you would often hear here, but it got so popular that people started doing it here. Yeah. But yeah, I've never had one, and I do want to try it.
And what have we here? Clearance.
So I might get the stuff like at the weekend and do it. Cleared cards, security cleared, race to level 2. Oh, there we go.
To level 2. Access to level 2 zone.
I'm getting all this stuff done. I ain't even like got to a bit where it's gonna stop me. Everything above 50% is considered dark. Probably, yeah. I think I just can't deal with it then. It might just be my taste buds. Which is fine. You know, not everyone's gonna like everything.
Poor Proctor must be feeling the heat right about now.
Security level 3. Prompto!
It won't budge.
Come in. I prefer dark, but I eat much chocolate. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? I prefer white chocolate. But, I'll eat, like, milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is more common. It actually says white chocolate, but, like, you know, you get more variety. Oh, you know what's amazing? White chocolate Reese peanut butter cups. And white chocolate Snicker bars. Ah. Ah. I want them all. I want them all. Right, no, most white. If I do sweet. That's fair. I think white is known to be the more sweeter one. It happens. I can't get enough of it. I love it. I love chocolate. Does anyone have a favorite candy bar? Or I say chocolate bar, but I know like I think it's technically called a candy bar in America. So Kinder Slices. What's Kinder Slices? I've not heard of Kinder Slices. I know Kinder Buenos. Lion. Oh yeah, wait. I think we have had a discussion like this before because I remember you saying Lion Bar.
Another trick. Back to square one.
Have you had a white Lion Bar, Morph?
Security clearance raised.
I know you said white chocolate's a bit too sweet for you, but there's not too much chocolate on a Lion Bar. It's mostly like nuts and caramel.
That's one of my personal favorites. Oh, you should have seen the look on your face.
Yeah, a couple times. I don't see them too often though. Yeah, they're not super popular.
It might really be your friend.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Are you certain it wasn't the real thing?
I'd love Reese's peanut butter cups. I haven't had one in a while. Butterfingers are good too, but completely inconsistent. What is a Butterfinger? I know of it, I've heard of it, but I've never actually had one. So I don't know what it's like in regards to, like, if you had to compare it to another chocolate bar, what would you compare it to? That's just cool. Right, so we got the keycard upgraded, so we should be able to access another door. This way. Yes, this way. Cool.
Oh, it's just so unfair.
So have you, maybe more of a delicate, sweet version of a Clark bar? Yeah, Clark bars aren't a thing here either. What? Okay. What's in it? Like, what? Like, describe it to me if you can. If it's not too much issue, don't worry if not. I can Google it later. But yeah, I mean, I've always heard about Butterfingers. I've just never had one. I've brought a couple of like American candy boxes with certain stuff in it, but Butterfinger's never been in one. Here you go, we've got an elevator scene. Let me have a quick Google. Butterfingers. Like crispy. I mean, it's peanut butter, so that's already a plus. Oh, it's by Ferrero. A layer of crispy peanut butter core covered in chocolate. Okay. So it's just peanut butter with chocolate layered around it, so like a Reese, but in a different shape. That's what it looks like. Maybe the peanut butter looks like a little bit more solid than a Reese. It's like compressed layers of toasted PB. Okay.
Soon it will be within your grasp.
I'm surprised I haven't had it.
Suggest you take the central elevator.
I love peanut butter.
You to your goal.
Aren't you helpful now?
Over there. So it's flaky. Oh. I might have to see if I can get myself one to try it. I'm super curious now.
Don't look down, don't look down.
Do I have a suitable key card?
Find a way to make it move.
Over this way. Yeah, that sounds different. Oh, an Iron Golem. Here we go. I think I could just teleport these into the ether. Okay. Get freaks, they're very consistent, but a good one is really good. Okay. I mean, I won't be able to buy it singly. What I have to do is I have to look to see if there's like an American candy box that I can get online where it has multiple of them. It might be the cheaper option. I'll have a look. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind getting again. Peanut butter M&Ms. That is fine. You know what? I haven't even had normal just peanut M&Ms in ages. I wanted to buy a bag the other day, but they were like more expensive than I was willing to pay for at the time. I was like, no, I don't need them that much. So this is over there. I'm going this path because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that simple. There you go. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like I could have gone that way too. Yeah, anyway.
All keyed up.
Generate a keycard. I got a feeling I might be able to hit the time gap in this stream. In which case, we'll definitely be finishing this on Friday. It's just a little bit weird, because I'm now realising, outside of the open world bit, this game is really short. It's not like I've skipped side missions because I've done them all. So...
If a king cannot protect himself, how is he to protect others?
It's definitely not because I've hit level 92 either, because I've barely even had to fight anything. Right, I've partially restored it.
The higher you climb, the further you fall.
Signatus keep the higher the Imperial Might, the flying mega. Oh, never mind. Alright then, I wasn't reading that. Didn't need to know what that said at all, did I? My tail is still a wagging though. He's a happy cat. It's Luna Freya's brother. No, it's not gonna happen. That's because it's 14. There we go. Hey, America Chan, how you doing? How are you doing? Welcome in. Ravus, no. Noctis, Nico. Yeah, I didn't. I've never played this game after it first got. Wait a minute. I played this game when it first came out, and I never played it again after it. I completed it, obviously. So this is my first time playing it with all the content. I never knew there was Final Fantasy 14 quests in this. And I got a cat outfit. I was like, yes! This is perfect. I'm glad to hear you're good, though. Is it going to auto give me that sword? Sword of the Father. Now we have all the swords. How did you get the cat outfit? So there's a side quest. I'm trying to think what chapter it got opened up. Maybe like chapter 6 or chapter 5. It's after you do the Titan. You then get a quest where you basically see one of the cat race from 14 stuck under a chunky chocobo.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Hey, Obby. And you have to help her, and then you go to a fort, and then you clear it out, and then you have to fight Garuda, which I believe is Garuda from Final Fantasy 14. And then she gives you an outfit for all of the characters. Yeah, I played around too, so it's amazing. Now I'm sad they had a 15 event. 14, sadly, I can't knock this out of the car anymore. Can you not? Wow. Toxic game. I really wanted to play not as Noctis. So let's escort you and Jitenya will return to Manor. It's dangerous to remain loose as the Empire. It fears a covenant with the Archianers. Okay.
Rest easy. Your work is done.
But yeah, now we got Noctis Kid will reaches his sword in combat. Together, the ring illusions it affords him a better chance of survival while his other abilities remain sealed. There you go. I saw a choke in a warehouse, but I skipped. Regrets. Yeah, if you keep doing that, I did do the Sarah side quest. Oh, the one with the battle, the Terror battle. Is that what it's called? That quest. Yeah, I played that. That was cute. I actually really liked that. The little aliens in it and the little like banter between Noctis and Sarah. I approve. I was very happy with that. This is technically only my second time playing through this game. I forgot how much fun this game is. Although I've now noticed that where I've got through the main open bit, the game's actually kind of short. We've been breezing through this today. And it's not because I'm a high level. Nope, sadly it was a one-time quest. I did do this, though I still got it all because I did first of the day and it came and was sad. But it's Monster Hunter event still kind of implement gameplay. There's a Monster Hunter quest in 14.
Did you hear that?
I still haven't got my I still haven't got any more play dates for 14 yet. I'm kind of like really hooked on a game on my Switch, so I don't want to be getting anything just yet because I'm just going to be wasting it. But I know that when I get my days on 14, I'm going to get 90, so I can get the first of the veteran outfits. Which is, I think, Cloud's outfit. Something like that. I also on my second playthrough, I gave up on getting the Flying Regalia. I think the Flying Regalia you can only get once you completed the game. I think it's a new. I think it's like a end game thing. Yeah, Game Pass. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're level 92 because I remembered about the way that XP worked in this game. So I cheesed it. I managed to get 600 and something thousand XP. I went to Altissia. I then tripled it at the hotel. And yeah, I went from level 52 to 91. So that was quite a thing. But even without that level gap, like, the game's kind of quick. Like, the game's... It's just like yeah, it just has a weird mechanic to this game that it's not really long.
Such a tease.
I think if you didn't have the open world in this game, like, it would be a strange one. Where are you? I don't remember this part. We are on chapter 13. So what we are doing currently is we're in, I think it's called Gralia, and we're looking for Prompto, because Prompto, we pushed off a train thinking it was Arden at the time. Tempted to restart my old account on 14. I mean, if you've got the time for it, why not? Why not? 14 has a lot of things. Let's tell me about it. I've barely scraped the barrel with 14. That's why I'm like, I want to play more of it, but where I'm on this Switch game, I'm like, I'm going to give my Switch game a little chance, and then I'll jump back to 14, and then I can put all my time in 14. Last chapter? No, not last chapter. We're like, I think there's 15 chapters. Yeah, 15 chapters, yeah. So we're on chapter 13. I can't even remember what the 14th one is. Because I swear it's at the end of this one that you do the time jump. That's how, because 14 has content for a long time, so better focus on other games then. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even get bored of 14 like I did with WoW at the time. Like, I didn't realise that I had run out of days, and I thought my account was free to play until level 60, but it wasn't, which is fine. But yeah, I just knew that I didn't have the time for it, and I was like, I will jump back onto this for sure, but just right now, it's just gonna have to wait. So I was fine with that. I'm trying to figure out where I got up to. Now it's free to play phase, then you have to sub. Oh. That makes sense then. That makes sense. Noctis with Stubble. I actually really do like the Noctis with Stubble.
4. Access to level.
I'm not gonna. I don't remember if I'm gonna use him though. I kind of like Kitty Not. Not gonna lie. I like Nico Not. I probably will though, just, you know, for story's sake. It's because you 30 days free sub, then you have to pay yourself. It's really confusing. Yeah, I saw a thing mention that you can play up to level 60 before you have to start using days. And I think it was only if you'd started a new account with that, when that started. But my account was before then, so it didn't matter. And I was like, alright then. You got me. I just remember at least I managed to get to the point that I could get a mount in 14 before I stopped playing it, because my days ran out. And I got to ride around on the Behemoth. Because I went to Gradinia, and there was like that achievement or trophy thing, and it was like, oh, if you give me this many coins, you can get rewards. I was like, okay. And I was looking for it, and I saw Behemoth was a mount that you could get, and I was like, hell yes. Yeah, free trial account is only if you only to get to level 60, then you cannot go more content, and you can be forced to play your own sub. But it's still only 30 days. I can't remember what level I got to before I stopped. I think it was like level 35 or something. The Behemoth is like freaking stirring myself. It is, and you know the bit that I loved about that the most is the fact that it had a little like throne on the back of it. I didn't think it would have a saddle, and it had like a proper Victorian saddle on the back of it as well. And I was like, yeah. That just added to the best part of it. I was like, hell yes, okay, you got me. You got me. But yeah, it was like, I just remember before I got the mount, I was seeing people like go off on mounts, and I was like, God damn you. I was the same with WoW. I know that I was still like early in, but I want mounts. I couldn't get them yet. Every time I saw someone on there, I was like, God damn it. One day that'll be me. What race was it that you were playing on 14, America? You were doing my collection as well. I literally have a lot of mounts. Yeah, you said that you bought a lot of the mounts from Mog Station as well, right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, hello. Just dropping in. Yeah. That's how much. I think that's the weird thing, because on WoW, like people I know people do buy the mounts because there are mounts that you can only buy and not get throughout anything else. But I know that a lot of people really prefer having dungeon mounts rather than store-bought mounts in WoW, whereas there's a ton of mounts that you buy in Final Fantasy and people love them. Behemoth Void Rage. It is though, it is. It stomps all over the place. Just what you want when you're going for a forest. I've now got to make a decision. We're coming up to the end of this bit soon. We do a time gap, and then we go into the time gap segment. I feel like there's not that much left of the game after that. And it's only gone 8:15. I'm trying to think if I can do this, and maybe like I'm trying to think of where I depending where I get up to at 9 o'clock. If I'm like on like just before the end chapter, do I just stream until I finish it?
What was that noise?
I might do.
Is it scary being on your lonesome?
Because then on Friday I can focus on the DLC. Because there's not going to be a stream this Saturday.
Ain't much, but it's better than nothing.
As I'm going to be meeting up with a couple of friends that I haven't seen since before, like... I actually can't remember the last time I saw them both. So, there's that. But I don't know, I think we're in a good position to potentially finish this tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm higher than the level you need to be to finish the story. For everything. Easy, just keep going to the race. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I know you say that anyway, more, because, you know,
I love surprises.
more stream. But I think this probably generally would just be something that's easily done. I'll have to see where I hit at 9 o'clock. Like, he's pretty much got me stuck here. I can't do anything. There we go. Yeah, she can't really fight and kill him. Alright, I want to grab that item. Not that I need these items, but I might as well. I'm trying to think what chapter 14 is. Because for a minute I thought chapter 15 was the whole of the time gap bit, but it mustn't be. I also need to find out what's happening Monday. Because normally on a Monday I don't stream, and me, Neff, and Mr. Gore play games. But we finished The Forest. And I don't think we have another game just yet, but we're looking at stuff, so... There might be a stream on Monday. No, yeah, I need to check in with them. I'm gonna watch stuff in bed. We're gonna sleep. Have fun with the No worries, Marika-chan. I will enjoy watching stuff in bed. I hope your sleeping schedule is still going as planned, and you have a lovely rest of your night. Take care. So, do. I knew you were here. Came up on my map. So we're gonna sleep at 1 AM. Have you still been getting up early at least? AM is fine. You can pull that back. I think you were staying up much later before. Well, yeah, Sarah. Ah, see, you got it. You're fine. You're still getting at least like 9 hours. That's doable. You got this. Nine hours. Way too much. I get like... Okay. Alright, Ricochet, take care. I feel like on a good day I get like, what, 7? No, just under 7. Like between 6 and 7 is normally mine. Yeah, on a good day, I say. We all know the amount of days that I say goodnight and then I wake up like an hour, or like I'm still up an hour later. I'm like, right, I can't sleep. I'm up all night. Here we go.
We'd managed to make demons right here.
Hit the bed between midnight and 1 AM. Yeah, that's the same for me. I kind of need to with work.
Your head can do more than wear a crown. Use it.
Oh, is this like a... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, 6. So, at a good day, you're getting 6 hours more, right?
Demons come from. Once upon a time, they were children.
Which still isn't too bad. I think 6 tends to be like a good minimum when it comes to sleep. See, the thing is, I'm so used to like getting up like early on a week, like when I'm working, that when I'm off, I still get up just as early. So nothing really changes for me. Try to think what's open here. Phone alarm goes off at 6, but I'm not gonna wait a few minutes early. Yeah, I tend to be the same. You sort of get used to that time, don't you? And then you're just sort of well aware. You're like, okay, it's coming up. Mine's always I'm doing it, and like I wake up and I know I can see the light coming from behind my curtain a little bit off the side. I'm like, all right, it's normally about now that my alarm's gonna go off and I have to wake up. But I'm like, I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm just gonna imagine that it's not. And then my alarm goes off, I'm like, shit. Alright, time to get up. I tried. Okay, so if C went on, what about B? I think it's C and A. Oh no, here you go. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care about where the weapons might be around. I don't think there's going to be any, like, weapon items hidden in this maze thing.
Oh, well done, my boy.
I don't like the way that Arden talks to us.
The most fascinating...
Epidemic proportions. That can't be good. All the patients have been disappeared? It makes no sense.
Oh, that stuff, that's fine, I don't need any of that. Let's go. Oh yeah, we're starting from Prompto. Not that you can miss him. Security level 4, updated. Oh no, level 5. Shit, okay, never mind.
5. Access to level 5 zones.
Level 5 it is.
The hell is this place? What are they keeping inside? Not sure what that is, but I got a hunch it's bad. Don't like it one bit.
Nothing there. Nothing down there either. Always worth checking, just in case.
Wasn't expecting that. Things are looking up.
Ah.
Will this story
Wow.
Intruder alert. Mobilizing
I missed an item,
infantry.
but it's fine.
Wait, is that what's waiting inside? Even more of them.
Where are your friends? You don't think they ran off without you?
Well, these remarkable girls practically find themselves in my character. You still playing 15? Persona 5?
Only a matter of time before Ignis bumbles into a trap. You must feel very much alone right now.
Can you imagine if I just randomly said the next game that I'm streaming is Persona 5? Just out of nowhere after saying that I won't ever play it because I can't get into it.
Access to level 6 zones authorized.
I'd never do that to myself. Yeah, it makes out confidence and then you get to romance and we'll be friends. I didn't realise that there's romance in that game. Isn't there like a teacher or something that you can like romance or something? Or a nurse or something. It was like one of the two. Teacher though. So how did we get round that? Because there's a whole first dungeon of Persona 5 about teacher liking students being a bad thing. You can get harmed anymore. God damn. That game. I'm impressed.
You really are helpless without your...
Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense to me. Like, being able to date a teacher in it after the whole first chapter. Oh, the teacher liked him alright, but he forced it on. Yeah, but... I suppose that is really the main thing that they're pointing out, is because he forced it on them, not because he just liked them. I was going to say, would it not technically be the same thing, in a way, but I guess it's not. And the game gets more interest after the first dungeon. Oh, I know, I got past the first dungeon. I got into the middle of the second dungeon when I played it.
In case there was any doubt, it's a trap.
Actually, I say the middle. It was the bit where you were doing the final bit in the dungeon.
A little pay never hurt anyone. On you go. Hurry, while you dawdle, people are dying.
I really gone and done it now.
I think it was the second one.
Gladio, where are you?
Is the second one like an artist? You go to like a museum or something?
Nock's in trouble. Got him. There ought to be a kill switch nearby.
Hey guys, I'm in a pickle.
It's the reason we were brought here.
I'm in a pickle. Ooh. Hey!
Close.
You're alive!
Welcome.
Thanks. After we were separated, we received help from the usual suspect.
That bastard's playing with us. But at least we're together.
All but one of us.
Reunited with your retainers at last.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Must be a fine feeling, having friends. Look how happy you are.
Is it not this big red button?
Prompto soon.
I'm pretty sure it's a big red button. Yeah.
Locked, meaning there's someone inside?
Actually, what's this way? Right. Yeah, music was the second. Okay, I got towards the end of that. That's where I got to before I stopped playing it. The first time I'm talking about, when I just like lost all interest in that game.
Such a tease.
Prompto!
Hey, you alright?
Are you hurt? Do you need help?
I'm fine. Thank you, Noct.
No sweat.
Tell me, were you worried about me?
Yeah. Did you imagine choosing not really?
Of course I was. What kind of question is that?
Of course. That's why you came. Like
I think I'll go for a run, of course. No, that's why I wanted to try it a couple of times. Like,
not until I could see.
the first time I just lost interest out of nowhere.
I'm not a fake.
The second time,
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I was like,
Everything's all right now.
I tried, but I just wasn't sure if I definitely did give it a good try. And then that's why I wanted to try it for a third time. And when I tried it then, I was just like, yeah, I just can't with this game. By all means, it doesn't make it a bad game. It's just personally not something that I could get into. So I was like, I'm not going to keep trying, because it's just going to give me a worse opinion of this game than I had before. Oh yeah, I've still locked out of all of these.
Locked. Do you hear that? Hear what? I've heard this sound before. On the train, just before your weapons failed you. It's nearby. And it may hold the key to restoring your power.
It's these.
This door's locked. That's coming from within. Is there no way through?
Just wish I could ditch Morgana. I can't get a sneeze.
So, MTs, they've got those code prints. Just like I do.
Do they? Never looked.
Yeah. So, as it turns out, I'm one of them. Not exactly something I could tell people growing up in Lucis. Still, you guys are like just hope that things can stay the way they were.
Whatever. Who cares where you were born? I don't see you turning against us. Not now or ever.
Thanks, guys. Still, I can't change where I came from. What I am.
That really makes me want to make katsu curry.
You never once treated me as a prince.
It's got you there.
Never so much as a highness. We're done here. Come on, crown citizen.
You're one of us, right?
Unless you'd rather not be.
That thing actually never shuts up. Yeah, so I've heard. If you're just trying to meditate every 2 seconds, it's like, can you hear me? Hey, you paying attention? No, I'm not bloody meditating, dipshit. You know what? I had a moment like that today at work. So, someone from the call center messaged me asking me for help. And I was like, hey, because he said, hey, man. I was like, hey. And he goes, he put the question, and I was typing up, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm not sure about this. I want to double check. So I started looking through paperwork to check. He messaged me again. He's like, yo, are you still there? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to help you. Shut up. Like, come on, give me 5 minutes to see what I need to do. Jesus Christ. Voice powers restore, not just once again travel to the particle. Yeah, okay. It's so annoying. This I'm trying to help you. Do you want to just, back off?
Sorry to break this up.
Right, okay. So I should be able to change my gear now. You know what? I don't think I actually ever really used the Sword of the Father in this game. I'm not really going to start now. I'll keep the ring on. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're all good there. Is there another enemy or something? Oh, here we go.
I see you decided to rock the ring.
No weapons, no friends, no choice, really. You know, somebody here's gonna fight to rescue the crystal. Not to mention rescue your pieces.
Yeah, I know the Sword of the Father would be a good weapon to use, but I might as well just use the Ultimate Blade. I mean, when you have the Ultimate Blade, you don't really need anything else, do you?
You can say that again. Especially now that you all have your weapons back.
I mean, after all, it's the Ultimate Blade.
Now then, the crystal.
I'm guessing the way is locked.
Well, I guess it's a good thing somebody has keys to the whole fortress.
You're no better than a burglar.
Aren't I?
I do like the chemistry between all the characters in this game.
Let's get on with it.
You getting a feel for things, Ignis?
Feeling my way.
There we go.
Hopefully Biggs and Wedge both made it to
Do-do. I don't think I'm going to level up again in this game.
Drivers.
And soldiers. They can fend for themselves.
New weapons? Oh, it's all the same ones.
Where's that elevator?
I just would have expected that I would have got a new weapon by now.
So, where'd you guys park the regalia?
Outside. Though park ain't the right word.
She's broken down, alas. Took one for us. Saved our lives.
Yeah, Regalia's gone now.
It's mine! Truly be. The Emperor does seem kinda keen on the ring.
So we fight him? Mercy.
Nothing the four of us can't handle.
It's just the thing.
Yeah, I think I prefer that one rather than enhancement. Hitting an enemy with its weakness element is pretty good shout. Wait for it to pop back up and then I'm going to get Gladio to do his super hit. There you go. There you go.
Crystal's light, we shall flourish. I shall arise as ruler of the world.
All right, things are looking up.
Let's see what we came for.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different one, isn't it? It's a bit of a different one. Ending soon. That's not ending soon. It ends in a day. You just hate it when eBay's like, oh, this is ending soon. It's like, no, it's not. Don't try telling me different.
One hell of a hangar.
Look at all this space.
So, the central elevator's through here.
And out of the loading bay.
Your Majesty, your precious crystal awaits you. To liven things up, I thought I'd take you on a stroll down memory lane. Of course, memories decay with time.
Look, we done to Ravus. Or Ravus. What are we buying? Oh, I just got my eye on some like Pokemon stuff that I'm like bidding on to see if I can get them cheaper than you can get it anywhere else. Just like, so I've got more stuff when I do this Pokemon stream. I'm going to be doing A big old one. Oh dear. Get him, Igni. Whoops. I should have blocked that. Come on, Gladio, do your slam. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yes. Shit. This fight is good, though. I do like this fight. It's sad what they've done to the character, but like not as in they shouldn't have done what they done, but like as I mean the story that they gave this character, the sad one. Pandemon. Yeah. Big old Pandemon stream.
A sorry end for the High Commander. For anyone. He was a man with hopes and dreams.
Ugh. It's horrible.
What kind of fiend makes demons of men?
Arden, that's who. There's literally only one bloke. It's Arden.
Company!
Keep an eye on Iggy. I'll keep both on him.
That'll be it.
I don't even think we're going to be starting the last chapter before I would initially come off.
If you can obtain the crystal's power, you may yet be able to turn the tide. Elsewise, we are all like to perish here.
Biggie's right. It's our only chance.
What about you? You'll manage somehow. Just get moving.
You could still get to the crystal if you went on your own. Your friends would have to stay behind.
Right, so I'm taking that one, right?
Hangar gate closing. Please stand clear.
You better think fast. I don't envy you your decision.
This is the way to the crystal.
Betraying your friends for the greater good. The mark of a monarch.
It's not really betraying when they tell him to leave, is it? I get what he's trying to do and incite fear and guilt into Nox's heart, but I mean, they literally told him to do it.
suppose your dear friends are still alive?
Oh, shut up, Arden.
Those who died.
Coming in here thinking you can scare me like this. Why I order?
Can you even recall their final words?
I'll come back for you all. I swear.
Sorry, let's just check something. Cool.
How far's this go? Crystal had better be here. Everyone's counting on it. Counting on me.
Your journey is over, Noct.
The crystal.
Unharmed by the light, the chosen king. Allow me to regale you with a tale. In an age long past, an incurable scourge ravaged mankind. A tiny menace that twisted men into monsters, the likes of which you've seen. In Lucis lived a savior who could cure the afflicted. His body would come to host myriad demons, and countless lives be spared. But a jealous king, one not chosen by the crystal, ostracized and demonized this healer of the people.
Ring any bells?
Monster of him. I gave you my name earlier, but you should know that it was not the name given to me at birth. Arden Lucis Kylum is my proper name.
Bam, bam, bam.
Guess his name is Linear was. No, killing you as a mortal will bring me some satisfaction.
This is a sound switch. Yeah, there's not been anything that I want on it though. I had a look earlier. Because I was checking it out when I brought the Saga Frontier.
Come back soon. I shall keep your friends company until you
I played the PS version of Bastion. Did you enjoy it? Bastion's one of those games that I know people critically acclaim for indies, but I've never actually played it. Sure, but decent game. Yeah, it's supposed to be really well done. I've just never played it myself. Good that you enjoyed it though. Believing the Sacred Stone would purge the world of demons, not just reached out to it. I need to get sucked in.
The fate of this world falls to the King of Kings.
Wait, Bahamut was in this one as well?
Consecrated in the
I think I prefer Bahamut as a dragon.
They stand against the darkness and abide in hope, sustained by faith unfaltering that their king shall arise and bring deliverance. The heart
Oh, no, here. Oh.
wherein lies
Where to do my door with it?
of the star. And it is in this place that the king will gain the power to fulfill his calling. By the covenants awakened, the Six have seen the coming of the prophesied hour. A time when the crystal shall have shed the entirety of its light unto the ring. Only then, once the sacred ring is replete, can the true king complete his ascension. And only by the true king's hand can the immortal accursed be banished and the light restored to this world.
Who is the cursed?
A man cursed with life eternal, whose immortality stems from the self-same scourge that wrought the demons. One so impure of body and soul was deemed unworthy of the crystal's light and forbidden to ascend.
What a sad life that must be.
Bent on revenge,
To have this whole bloodline of people that were accepted and you to be the only one that isn't.
the true king, chosen by the crystal and guarded by his forebears, can end the accursed's madness.
What is Providence?
It is the sole means to ending the immortal accursed. A power greater than even that of the Six, purifying all by the light of the crystal and the glaives of rulers past. Only at the throne can the chosen receive it, and only at the cost of a life his own. The King of Kings shall be granted the power to banish the darkness, but the blood price must be paid. To cast out the usurper and usher in dawn's light will cost the life of the chosen. Many sacrificed all for the king, so must the king sacrifice himself for all. Now enter into reflection, let the light of providence shine within.
So basically, the chosen one who is to, for anyone that doesn't get it, the chosen one who is to banish the impure is Arden. The chosen one, as you can tell by him being here, is Noct. But the only way to also banish him is for the chosen to also offer up his own life. It's a tough break. You go through all of this to basically find out the only way to do it is to offer up your own life. Oof. Oof. So much. Happy endings all around. Well, it is for the people that ain't Noct.
Kingdom, where the usurper awaits. Reclaim the throne and fulfill the calling of the true king.
He has the beard in this. I didn't think he would have the beard in this outfit. But he does. That was the only reason I was going to change the outfit, because I thought the beard wouldn't carry over onto a different outfit. So doggy, say let the world burn. But there's not going to be a world to burn. Well, okay. There's, you know what I mean. There's not going to be much reason to live in a world if you're going to be... You're not doing it the Chosen King's calling. So I said that depending where we got to at 9 o'clock, I might play this all the way through. But we're only on chapter 14. So we're not even hit the final chapter. And this might only be a short one, but what I'm gonna do is we'll call it when I've met all of them back up and we've got to Hammerhead. And then what we'll do is we're gonna have a big stream on Friday, and then we can wrap it all up on Friday. Maybe even potentially start a DLC.
Where'd everybody go? Demons everywhere. What the hell happened?
What was it I was trying to get before? It was this, wasn't it? The bar goes up quicker. Yeah. Yeah. I still want that one, to be fair. I mean, I have less than 100 to get, so there's a chance that we might get it before the end of the game.
Last man standing.
I was at Tom Berries. What are you doing out here? I just keep parrying them. I'll get my AP then. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it from these. I can't. I don't know if I'm doing anything. There we go. I should get out of that corner. Oh, so we know that I've been writing reviews of games when I finish them. I've been playing Last Remnant. I don't know if I'm going to write a review of that when I finish it. But I've been enjoying it. But I don't really know what to say about it. Like, it's been fun playing it, and it's like, even with that game type and style that I never played before. Oh, I got turned into a frog. I will say though, after playing Last Remnant, I might actually look at other games that are styled like that. So I might look at that Fire Emblem game that came out on Switch. Where is... Let's look there. Alright, okay. Oh, damn! I think I just keep running and then they pick me up in the car. Yeah, I've never seen that before. I needed to fight you, to be fair. Since I was quarter to it. Wow. I want to at least get to Hammerhead before we call it. Shit. I need to do that quicker. Alright. I think you just need to have like max I'm gonna say max max magic. Come on, Umbra.
What is it, boy? Something's coming.
Here it is.
A truck?
Stop. It's your boy, Prince.
Yeah? It's me, Talcott. My grandpa served the Amicitia family.
Talcott?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes way. Welcome back, Your Majesty.
Bam, bam, bam. I thought it was 5 years that we were gone. Maybe it's longer.
Yes, sir. That's right. Huh? Just a second. Said he wants to have a word with you.
He can have it in person.
He said you can have it in person. Okay. We should be there shortly, sir. Wow. I can't tell.
Yeah, now we have like this car ride. So once we have this car riding out, we can sort it all out.
Guess I've grown some these 10 years.
There you go, 10 years.
The guys must be pinching themselves right now.
Where are they anyway?
10 years and they only grow a little bit of stubble. Paul knocked. Paul knocked.
For Miss Cindy. You know, back at the garage. She's a tough one, but when she needs a little extra muscle out on the road, she gives him a call. Speaking of which, the guys said they're near Hammerhead right now, so we'll be meeting them there.
Yeah, it's fine. We got the note thing sent to meet us at Hammerhead.
Your Majesty, it's been nothing but nighttime non-stop. Lestalem still has light thanks to the power plant, so just about everyone's taken refuge there.
Only there?
Everywhere else has been abandoned. Demons moved in, forcing the people to move out. People still swing by the garage at Hammerhead from time to time, but it usually isn't for repairs. These days it's less of a service station and more of a slayer station, a base for demon hunting. The garage is still open though, one of the few places that is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Sid, he's still alive and kicking.
He's kicking all right, just not as hard as before. He hasn't really been himself lately. At least not since he moved out to Lestalem. Someone suggested he move the garage there too, but old man Sid wasn't having it. He called it a big fat chocobo turd of an idea. It just wouldn't be the same anywhere else.
I don't understand how this car can drive around without getting stopped because of demons. But my car did all the time.
Without any tinkering to do, Ignis's gourmet seafood is about all Sid has left to look forward to. With all the demons,
The cheek of it.
more folk were getting hurt. Or worse. So Iris talked the Marshal into taking out the demons themselves. Iris the Demon Slayer, they call her. Gladio and the others, they lend him a hand whenever they can. Prompto spends most of his time hunting around Hammerhead. He tries to impress Miss Cindy, but she's already married to her work.
Sounds like Prompto.
Hunts, too. We tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen. He said if anything, he's more used to the darkness than we are.
Never got his vision back.
I'm afraid not. But that being said, he gets by pretty well on his own. Gladio and Prompto usually hunt on their own as well. It isn't often you see the three of them together nowadays. They still work as a team every once in a while.
Sounds like normal boy band troubles. Splitting up for a couple of years, coming back a couple of years later to do a reunion tour. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Your Majesty, everyone will be so happy to see you. Don't worry. I won't be going anywhere. If you have any other questions,
There best be new weapons.
don't hesitate to ask.
Hey, that's all you have to say for yourself after all this time?
Knocked! It's you! It's really you!
Even Prompto has a beard! I forgot about that.
Let's head inside.
Boys are backing down, boys are backing down. Bow, bow. The final battle will commence once you leave Hammerhead. Be sure to spare no preparation. Yeah. There is a weapon shop though, right? No worries, Broken Tip. Thank you for joining us. It's always lovely, as always, seeing you. Have a lovely rest of your evening and day. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next one, which will be Friday. Good old Friday.
Hey.
Durando, Hyperion, Radiant Lance, Main Gushes, Quicksilver, Black Prince is new. Yeah, go on then. Go on then.
See you later.
Yeah, there you go. Right, cool. Right, let's just save it. There's this whole scene that they do where they have a camp. How is it that they leave? It's just literally walking up. Ah, okay, so yeah, that's the thing. Okay, right, well, we saved the game. Save it again. Right, so I know I said that depending on what time it was. Considering that I think this end bit could take a little bit of a time, I'm not going to carry on. Well, I'm going to save it for Friday, because Friday will be a longer stream than usual anyway. So that's sort of like a perfect chance for me to knock out the final bit of this main story and start the DLCs. We might be able to get one done. Did you save? Of course I did. Of course I did. I might be able to get one DLC done and then another one started. And then I've got 2 more to do. There's 4 DLCs. You've got Gladios, then Ignis. No, Gladios and Promptos, then Igni, and then Arden. Are you sure? Yes. Yes, I am 100% sure that I saved. Thank you for checking, as always. Right, who is on that we can drop a raid to? There you go. We'll drop a raid to a blonde guy. He's playing some Rocket League, and I love to drop him a raid every now and then when I can. So let's sort that out. Start raid. Cool. So like I said, we will be back with more of this on Friday. Well, we'll eventually wrap up the main story. And let's move just chatting from it. Let's just chatting to my other screen. So yeah, we'll carry on with this on Friday. We should wrap up the main story, start Gladio's DLC, potentially finish his DLC. So I can't remember how long it takes. And then yeah, we're starting early. It'll be 3 o'clock, so normal time for a Friday one. We'll start at 3, go on till like, depending on like how long. Cause last Friday I done a really long one, and I went on until when I would normally finish in my evening streams. So yeah, I'm not sure how long we're going to be doing it for, but we'll definitely get the main game done, and then at least want to start the DLC and maybe finish one of them. So if you can, please drop some panda butts in his chat. Have a lovely rest of your Thursday or Wednesday, and then have a lovely Thursday. If you haven't already and you would like to, obviously there is my links. If you want to follow, drop us in the Discord, Twitter, Instagram, check out my reviews. If you haven't already and you've enjoyed the stream, obviously please don't forget to hit that follow button. It's greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I will see you all on Friday. So take care, stay amazing. Ciao.
On the 21st, but you know.